everyone, it's Leslie and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing a sketch layout with you that I made for the Paper Issues design team, and I'm going to be using a lot of the Take Me Away and Turn the Page collections from Pink Paislee, from the Page Evans collections, and you'll see here that I am going to just be gutting that paper. It's a white paper with some foiled rose gold foiled hearts on it, and I just wanted to frame this layout. And you'll see if you go back to the sketch, you'll see that there's a lot of frames in the sketch, and I just wanted to bring in some more of the frame aspect in framing the big layout in the end. And I'm cutting these squares into 3-inch by 3-inch little squares, and I'm going to make each of these squares a frame. And you'll see that I'm just using my craft knife and a little steel ruler, and I'm just marking out the frame width that I marked out as a centimeter for each of the frames, and I'm just doing the last frame here. And this layout is a grid layout, and it calls for 4 frames or 4 areas of embellishment, and I'm going to be placing my my square frames not completely straight. I'm going to be placing them quite what do you call it, the one frame just above the other frame, and so on. And yeah, I had some trouble getting the cardstock just perfect there on that back layout, but you won't see the tears in the paper in the end. So I did do some fussy cutting. That yellow frame is from the Take Me Away collection from Pink Paislee, and there's a sheet with these frames on in the 12 by 12 paper pad, and I just got the frames, and I'm going to be using those frames just to back the frames that I did create, just as a pop of color. The sketch does call for some journaling on the top left hand a little square, and I didn't want to do some journaling on that part, so I just stuck that chipboard word that says wonderful on there. And now I'm just going through the ephemera pack, and I'm seeing what, you know, I just want to fuss about with some flowers and some of the embellishments to see what I can use in this layout. And I really like the floral aspect, so I'm going to be placing some flowers on the bottom left hand corner frame and on the top right hand corner frame, just to balance that out. And I'm also going to be using some frames from the ephemera pack just to bring some more color and dimension to the 2 frames, the top right and bottom left, to just frame my photos that I'm going to be using. And you'll see that this layout came together really easily, really quickly, and I'm basically just going through all of the ephemera. I have so much of the ephemera left, and so much of these collections. They're so versatile, and you can use them so much. You'll see that I just focused in a little bit more. Now those are the 2 photos that I'm going to be using, and I printed them out on my selfie, so I am going to just be adjusting the size of the photos quite a bit. I have to cut off quite a bit of the photos, but you'll still see the main idea of what's happening in the photo. Now my oldest son is hanging in his cocoon. It's a therapy bag. My oldest son is on the autistic spectrum, so he also has sensory processing disorder, so he really loves that cocoon, and it's it's a godsend. I mean, whenever he gets stressed, I just tell him, go sit in your bag, and he goes and he sits in his bag, and it's amazing. That bag is a lifesaver. So what we've done is we've cordoned off the area in our living room around the bag as sort of a play area for Lucy, and we put like a little fence up around that area, and you'll see her. She's just crawling about underneath Etienne there in the bag, and it was so cute. They were there. She was very entertained by him hanging above her, and she would just be crawling around underneath him in the bag. And he was eating an apple at that stage, and he would go around in circles in his bag, and she would be following the apple around, and it was the cutest moment. And these moments happen every single day, and I really thought that the title Everyday Moments would just be perfect for this layout. Now the sketch does call for the title to be in a different spot, but I thought having the embellishments in the those embellishment clusters in the top left and bottom right hand little spaces, I didn't want to put any more words or any titles on there, because I really liked the little clusters I created there with the flower, the frame, the dimension I also put behind the little flower cluster there, and also that foiled butterfly, and that sort of brings in more of the that butterfly tied in more with the foil in that background paper, and the frames that I created with the little foiled hearts and so on. And you'll see that I do use a lot of my staples. Now that is a regular stapler size a regular it takes regular size staples, that stapler of mine. And I found some We Are Memory Keepers staples that are different colors, and the color that I'm using here is just a rose gold color staple that the staples that I put in my stapler, and I'm stapling I'm going ahead and stapling a lot with it on this layout. And I felt that the white of the background was very bare, so I am going to be bringing in some of my mists and my sprays. Now in the end you don't really see a lot of what I'm doing here. I should have brought back the little embellishment clusters that I got going there, the little squares. I should have brought back the square frames just to see if you can see any of that behind there. But in the end I really liked the way the effect that it gave. It did cover up, those frames did cover up most of the packaging technique that I tried there with that lighter teal color. I don't really mind that it did that. You know what, it is what it is, and I'm starting to allow things to just be instead of going back and redoing to make it perfect. And I think it's a journey we all have to take sometimes, is when we find ourselves trying to be too perfect and trying to make things just right, it can get very exhausting. And that's something I'm trying at the moment in my life, to just do something and just let it go. Let it be. Don't go back and try and fix it until it's perfect. Now, I'm not a perfectionist. In certain areas of my life, I am quite perfectionistic, but I won't say that I have a diagnosis or anything, like that serious about perfection or OCD or anything like that. I'm very particular, I think, and I think most people that say they are OCD, they are just really particular about the way they like things. And I think being particular is fine. I mean, that's our personalities, that's how we are. And however, sometimes it does get exhausting, and you lose out on a little fun in life and spontaneity in life. So what I'm trying to get through in my scrapbooking as well, because I was being quite particular in my scrapbooking and so on. And what I try to get done lately is to just do something and let it go. And I like it, and it is a challenge for me not to go back and to change and to take off and some of the stuff, and to think more about the things and to try out more things before I put them down. And it is a challenge for me to just go ahead and stick something down, and but it's a good thing. It's a good life lesson that we learn, and that I'm learning at the moment, at least, to not to rush things, but to get something done and letting it go. Anyways, this is for the Paper Issues design team again. Remember, life is all about the little moments that we like and that we can document. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.